Ow! Let me do that again.
Guys, welcome to my channel.
Don't let it go, let it go. Don't let it slip away.
Hi everyone. Do you know what? I have said hello everyone so many times it doesn't even sound right anymore. So hello, welcome to my channel. I have wanted to start this channel for such a long time, but you know when you just feel like it's just going to be rubbish, no one's going to watch it, and you're ugly, and all of those reasons, blah 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 blah. I just didn't start it, and do you know what? Recently I thought I'm just going to do it, so here I am. My name is Mia. I am 20. I literally sound like I'm on a Zoom call. See, this is why I didn't start this channel, because I just don't have a clue what I'm going on about. For any of you that don't know who I am, my name is Mia. You might recognise me from MTV's Teen Mum UK. I was on there from series 1 to series 3, which I'm sure most of you have come here from my Instagram, so hello babies. I thought I would start my first video with a Q&A, because I mean, who doesn't love a good Q&A, get to know me. I've got some juicy questions that you've asked on Instagram. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the first one. By the way, lockdown nails. Don't judge. I mean, girls, times are hard. Question 1. Do you know what? I feel like this is one of my most asked questions all the time, so I'm going to go with this one. Why did you leave Teen Mum? So we were on Teen Mum from series 1 to series 3, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it was it was the best time ever. I loved sharing my life with everyone. I loved meeting the girls. I loved filming, and I loved it. So I did Teen Mum with my daughter, Malia, she's 4. With my daughter's dad, Manly, and his family, and then my friends, and yeah. And it was all fine. And when mine and Manly's relationship ended, it ended bad, really bad. I met someone else after 3 weeks of us breaking up. Please don't judge me, okay? Just don't judge me, because mine and Manly's relationship broke down from way before that. Like, don't know if any of you have ever had this, but you know when sort of you're bickering, arguing, they move out, they come back. You argue, they move out, they come back. You're good for a day, etc, etc, etc. Like, it just wasn't good. And so I feel like in my head and my heart, the relationship ended a long time before it ended, if that makes sense. So yes, I did meet someone after 3 weeks. There were a lot of cheating rumours at the time. I didn't cheat. I mean, 3 weeks was very soon, and I understand why he was upset, but that's just what happened. And so when that happened, my relationship with his family just completely broke down, because obviously he was really upset. So that just completely broke down. And I think with the filming, it put a lot of pressure on it. First things first, Manly said, I'm not filming, I don't want to film. So that was obviously a problem. Like, how can you film a real life documentary without one of the main people? So that was one of the main reasons. But also, yeah, it was just a really bad time. And I think, like, also, I think I pushed past the fact that, like, I was saying to everyone, oh no, I just want to concentrate on my new relationship and Malia, and deep down I probably would have carried on filming if I could, but we didn't. That was that. And yeah, that's why we left Teen Mum. Do you still get on with Maggie? So for everyone that doesn't know, Maggie is Manly, my little girl's mum. Maggie is Manly, my little girl's dad's mum, sorry. Confusing. And we had a very close relationship. For everyone that loved the show, we were really close. And when mine and Manly's relationship ended, and I was the bad person basically, our relationship, mine and Maggie's relationship, sort of ended. But now it's sort of built back up again. We never really spoke about what happened, which was weird. Like, I didn't really see her for ages, probably for a year I didn't really see her. And then I started seeing her on pickups and drop-offs, and then we just started talking again. So yeah, I get along really well with her now. This is Malia. I'm sure all of you know.
Be careful with my other hair, because it's so beautiful.
Babe, you're stunning.
Where is?
Do you want to say hello to everyone?
Hello.
She's crazy, but she's in a very chilled out mood today, which is nice. What remote are you looking for? what was your BBL experience like, really considering one? So, for everyone that doesn't know, I had a BBL, which is a Brazilian butt lift, and breast uplift and implants. So I'm gonna do a whole video on surgery. I'm gonna put pictures of my before and after. I'm gonna put pictures of what I look like straight after surgery. I'm gonna tell you all about it. But just to touch on that, I had mastitis after I had Malia, and it turned into an abscess. So when they removed it, I didn't realise that this was going to happen, but they had to remove tissue from around the outside of it. So 6 weeks after my scar had healed, I looked in the mirror and one was here and one was like down here. Like, they weren't even sisters, they were like third cousins twice removed. Like, it was ridiculous. Even my mum, and she's not dramatic at all, was like, wow, they were so bad. So I decided, right, I want that. And then along the journey, I saw pictures of BBLs, I did loads of research, and I decided that's something I wanted to do. And at the time I got quite a lot of stick for it, because obviously surgery is a very, very like controversial subject, and people were sort of saying, you're promoting surgery, it's really bad. And I in no way ever wanted to promote surgery. I never wanted to turn around and say, right, go get surgery, look like this, blah, blah, blah. But first of all, I couldn't go and get surgery and not say I've got surgery, because that would have been even more wrong. Imagine I go to get surgery and I come back and I'm like, and then people are like, wow, how did you do that? Second of all, why would I not share it? I want to share it, and I want to promote safe surgery, because I really researched my surgeon like for weeks. I watched videos upon videos, and he would teach people how to do the procedure safely. And yeah, so that's why I decided to share it. And yeah, so in terms of the actual what it was like, it was fine. Like, it was more painful than I thought it was going to be, just for the fact that I just didn't prepare myself mentally for it. Like, I just like, oh yeah, I'm going to get surgery, and I took Malia with me. My surgery was in Marbella and I took her with me, so I just didn't really know that I was going to be in that much pain. But it was more uncomfortable than painful, and within like 3 days I was walking around fine. I went down to the beach, and yeah, so no regrets whatsoever. I'm going to do a whole video on it, because these are one of my most asked questions about the surgery. And yeah, but what I will say quickly is that surgery does not fix confidence issues. If anything, it's made mine worse. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, because you're like, well, how have you just gone and had like surgery and changed your body and you feel more self-conscious? But I think when you try to change it, it becomes a bit of an obsession, first of all. And second of all, it's heightened my insecurities. It's really strange. I'm going to do a whole video on it, but the whole experience was okay. Okay, it was fine. I was fine. Are you and Malia's dad on good terms? No. So, I put up recently that I'm the queen of co-parenting. If you ever need any advice, come to me. Like, it's been a rocky road, but me and him get along really well, and it has all gone wrong. Like, where do I even start? So, it's just all gone wrong over a boy. Like, we were getting along really well. Well, when I say really well, like, I'd ring him and he wouldn't say hello on the phone. He would just pick up and I'd go hello. We didn't have much conversation, but we could have conversation. He even came to Malia's like swimming lesson with me just before lockdown, and we were getting along fine. And then a situation with a boy happened, and I'm blocked, basically. I mean, we have a child together and I'm blocked. Not ideal at all. It's a lot of drama. Some might say it's my fault, but I also believe, like, no matter what's going on, no matter what drama's happening, no matter what boy you're with or what girl he's with, that shouldn't affect your child. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we don't get along at all. Blocked, not speaking. Hate's a very strong word, but I do feel like he hates me right now. So we've taken a million steps backwards. Don't really know how it's going to be resolved. But I do feel like time is a healer. Clutching at straws, yeah. Time's a healer. I'm sure a lot of you, if your mums you're watching, you've had problems with your child's dad and everything before, because breakups aren't good. And it's just so messy. It's so messy. I mean, I'm blocked, obviously, but watch this space, because it might change. I'll take you along the journey with me. But right now, I'm blocked. He put up a lot on Instagram about me. I mean, some might laugh, some might cry. Yeah. Which brings me on to this next question. Where is it? I'm sure I saw one about this topic. How do you co-parent with Manly? So before this situation has happened, which is so recent, like it happened this week, I learned to just not bite. It's very hard because obviously children come from love. Like, I know it's a really stupid thing to say, and any breakup is hard. Like, and especially when there's children involved, it makes it 10 times harder. And the problem with co-parenting, and why I think a lot of people find it hard to co-parent, I'm not saying this is the main reason, because there's so many other reasons if you've got different views and things like that, but a big reason is when there's feelings involved. And I know you can't help that and there's nothing you can do to control that, but I say that from experience because I had no feelings a lot before Manly did. So if it was his day to have Marlia and he was out drinking or whatever, I wouldn't question it. I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. But with me, it would be the end of the world. It'd be, where's Marlia? Where is she? And I think it all came down to feelings, because over the last year, even year and a half, we don't really argue as much, if that makes sense. So, and I think maybe because his feelings are gone. I mean, this recent situation says otherwise, but yeah, it's so hard. It is so hard, but, and I know this isn't a very good answer, but I would never say I'll go through someone else, but what I found worked better was going for a different family member for a while, especially when something kicks off and there's drama, to like settle the smoke or settle the sand. I don't know what that saying is, but yeah, to settle everything, just wait for the, this is what I mean. To wait for the dust to settle, I would go through family members, just for the fact that when you talk, you are going to argue. Just know that it's not going to be like that forever. At some point, I'm sure you'll get along just fine. And just pick your battles. That is my biggest thing. Pick your battles, because most of them will not be worth fighting. If he does something, or she, if boys are watching this and can't co-parent with their child's mum, if they're kicking off about something or whatever they're saying you don't agree with, sit back, count to 5 and think, is this worth me arguing about? Most of the time the answer will probably be no. Like, no, it's probably not worth you arguing about. So yeah, that's my biggest advice. But how I can co-parent Manly now, we don't. Would you ever do OnlyFans? So I get asked this probably about once or twice a day. I know girls, and I'm friends with some girls that do it, and they are absolutely like killing it. I look at them like, wow, like I just have so much respect for them. I personally wouldn't. And do you know what? I don't even know what the reason why I wouldn't do it. I find watching them and seeing what they post and things like that really empowering. It's a very controversial subject, isn't it, OnlyFans? Like, some people would be like, some people think it's awful. Some people think it's amazing. I personally find it so empowering. I look at them and I think you have so much confidence in your own body. I wouldn't do it. Do you know what? Being honest, the fact that I just haven't got it in me. Like, well, the way they pose and like the pictures and just certain things, like I'd be like this. Like, they're posing like in such amazing ways and that they look so good, and then there'd be me like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a goofball. Oh my god, you know when a word comes out your mouth and you're like, why have I just said that? That's a prime example. I'm just a goofball. Wherever that word just came from. People will be messaging me on there like, hey, you look beautiful, and I'd be like, thanks, I'm a goofball, really? Unsubscribe straight away. No, I just couldn't. But honestly, my ultimate utmost respect for the girls that do it, because I just think they're amazing. But I just personally wouldn't. OMG, I didn't know you went to Sage School. Can you do a video about what it was like, please? So nobody really knows this, but I wanted nothing more in my life than to be a famous actor. Not even famous, I just wanted to be an actress and a singer. I went to Sage School from when I was 4 until I was 15. Not an actual school, so I went to normal school, and I went to, on the weekends I went to Sage School, and I just loved it. And at the start I was like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I just got the main parts. I was just killing it at the age of 6. Then I got to 8, 9, or maybe a bit older, maybe like 11, 12, and I feel like my voice just deteriorated a bit. And then I started getting the background parts. Like, I went from being the main part, standing there solo, to then being the hyena in Lion King, crawling through the back. Like, it all went wrong a bit. However, from stage school, I went on casualty, and I was a refugee on a boat. They cut my line out of it. I remember we were on the boat for like 6 hours filming, and I had one line, which was, I can't remember the word, but it was more in Spanish, because I was asking for water, and it was cut out. But I was still on it. I'm going to put a picture of what I looked like when I was on it. But yeah, I love stage school. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. But, you know, there comes a time in life sometimes when you need to let it go. Everyone says I can't sing. Yeah, that was that. But I loved it. What is your ethnicity? So my dad is half Jamaican and my mum is fully English. So I don't know, the quarter, yeah, but yeah. So I have like quite frizzy hair, like olivey sort of skin. I mean, some would say orange at the moment, but you know, we move. Why is Erin so included with Malia's dad's family, but you're not? So Erin is, for everybody that doesn't know, Malia's dad, Manly, has another little girl with a girl called Erin, Alea, and she's so cute. Malia absolutely adores her. And I think Erin is maybe more, I can't speak for them, but I think she's more included just because my relationship broke down with Manly's family when me and him broke up, whereas hers obviously hasn't. So she does see them more, and yeah, she just gets along with them better than I do, I guess. But it's really nice, obviously, because Malia absolutely loves her as well. So yeah. I don't actually know why. That wasn't really an answer. I don't know. How do you drop off your daughter to her dad's? Do you communicate or not now? So right now, no. I'll be dropping her to his mum. Before, I did, and it would literally, I'd ring him before I was leaving and say, hello, I'm leaving. He'd say, okay. I'd ring him when I was outside, hi, I'm outside, okay. And he'd come down, and then that's the conversation done. And do you not find it funny, like, how you go from being in a relationship with someone, having a child, like being a family, to then not even exchanging 3 or 4 words? Like, it is crazy how, like, things go so wrong, but they do, and you live and you learn, I guess. What are you looking for in your next relationship? Do you know, my relationships, insight to my life, my relationships don't last more than a year. That is a fact. I'm the 1-year relationship girl. Every Christmas my family are probably like, which one is Mia going to bring to, like, oh, who's going to come next Christmas? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know why. Like, my relationships, they'll be perfect for 6 months. I'll be ringing the girls like, we're going to get married, like, let's go look at venues right now. And then after 6 months it just goes wrong. Like, we just start bickering and arguing, and it just goes wrong. So I feel like I had a really bad relationship. My last relationship was the worst relationship I have ever, like, could have ever possibly been in. And that is also something that I want to talk about. I want my channel to be a really, like, open, positive place. I want to help people, because before I never thought anything I'd say would help people. But then I look at my comments and my messages on Instagram, and people messaging me like, you've helped me so much from this, and you saying this has helped me. And I think, do you know what happened to me in that last relationship, I'm going to share very openly, just for the fact that when it was happening, I've reached out to people, and I've watched, I didn't at the time, I didn't tell anybody, but I watched videos of other people going through that have been through the same thing, and it genuinely helped me. So if I can help people, just 2 or 3 people, from one video explaining what happened from the start and then how I overcame it, that would make me so happy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to share that. But that last relationship has probably completely messed up my head, I'm not going to lie. I was a very open person before, and I loved love. Like, I loved the thought of being in love. I loved just being, like, do you know what I mean? And that relationship, I feel like, completely broke me down to the point where, like, my friends said I was a completely different person. And I feel like I'm finding myself again. I hope. Some days I feel like I'm not. But so now when it comes to another relationship, I feel like I'm very, very skeptical. I I'm not gonna lie, right now the thought of a relationship makes me feel sick. Like, I don't want a relationship. Hopefully that changes, because obviously I'd love, some of my friends are engaged. It's amazing, and I'd love that to be me. But from what's happened to me over the last year, which I'm going to share, I've just been put off men, basically. I've been put off men. But what I would say my next relationship is just someone that's not controlling, and I would like to find a friendship first before a relationship, if that makes sense, because all of my relationships have been based on like attraction and like romantically, and when things go wrong and, you know, you're not feeling like your best, there's nothing there. So I think that's the most important thing, 100%, like friendship before any form of like romantic involvement. But yeah, at the moment I'm not even looking for a relationship. Do you ever look back at your exes and think WTF? I'm sure do with mine. I do, but I feel like, only because, no offence to any of my exes, but I feel like and everyone does, you grow as a person. So I feel like when you feel like you've changed as a person, you've grown, you will look back at your ex and be like, you're not my cup of tea anymore. Some of my exes are worse than others. I feel like I have loads of exes. I genuinely don't. I think I've had four boyfriends. But yeah, I guess you just grow, don't you? And then you look back and you think, what was I doing? But yeah, I feel like the biggest thing as well is to just try not to regret anything, because if you live in regret, you won't ever be happy. Like, there's not one, I've learnt now to not regret one single thing that's ever happened, no matter how bad it was, no matter how bad that decision was. I try to just think, I don't regret that, I don't regret it, because what is the point? Like, regretting something is not gonna change anything that's happened. So another bit of advice from the girl that doesn't take her own advice, aka me. I'm gonna answer one more because I feel like I've rabbited on for way too long. How do you stay so strong and not blow your top? You're a queen. First of all, thank you. Like, it's comments like that just make me like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do. Like, I'm not an aggressive or angry person, so me blowing my top would be me crying in my bed for 4 hours straight, and I put on depressing music to make myself cry more. Anyone else do that? Please, like, just write a comment and let me know that I'm not alone. I'll put on Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. You just need to cry it out. So when something's happened, I will put on Women's Work by Maxwell, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. I'll bury my head in my pillow. My eyelash extensions will be like skew if by the time I've come back up again. And do you know what? I feel better afterwards. It's okay not to be okay. That is what I've learned from like close friends and everything. So when I feel down, instead of bottling it up, I'll just cry. I'll just put on a sad song over and over again. I love like DJ Booney, When It Was Me vibe. This one I absolutely love. I'll just cry. I will just cry into my pillow. What is wrong with that? Probably you're gonna think, what the hell? This is probably one of my go-to sad songs. And I just feel so much better afterwards. I don't know what it is. Like, just makes me feel so much better. She's got green eyes. I just want everything she's got. I'm going to clip by my head because I will probably like, yeah, you don't need to see that. But thank you so much for watching my first ever video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and leave a comment, and yeah. Also leave some comments of what you'd like to see. I'm just planning to just go with the flow and just film whatever I feel like you'll want to see. But yeah, thank you all so much, and I love you all. Ow! Let me do that again. Oh my god, I've sat on my knees for so long that I think they've like seized up. Ow. Thank you all so much, and I can't even do that again, that's weird. I'm just gonna give you all a kiss.